Hello, folks. How's it going? Sorry about the late start today. Give me a moment. I'm going to switch over to voice activation on Discord. If I can find the thing. There we go. Yeah, so I'm on Discord. I see Casper's here also, but also Epic, who is one of the helpers for the Snapshot videos.
Hello.
And let me know. Yeah, that looked like it went out on stream as well. But let me know if you can't hear either of us. Well, I mean, if you couldn't hear me, then you wouldn't let me know or whatever. But Casper, you'll get a better view of this if you were actually in the in the stream, because this is going live on both YouTube and Twitch. But yeah, we are gonna try to. Epic could be a bit louder. Okay, hold on. Let me check how that looks on stream. It's fine on my end. So it's a stream thing. Discord line. It's actually. Oh, it's lowered. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense then.
What?
To be good now. Yeah, YouTube's popping off today. Thanks for being here, folk. Yeah, so we're gonna try to. I've basically not done anything on this tech news video, and it's getting late. Starting to approach, the time where we would have another snapshot to deal with. I have been working on like stuff with my house and whatever all weekend, or like a lot of my vacation actually, and it just kind of basically been cleaning up a wooden deck to be able to like treat it with oil, and I wanted to finish it while there was good weather and stuff, so I wanted to keep doing it. And then just as I did the last little like brush strokes of oil, it started raining from basically a clear sky, so that was fun. We'll see how that turns out. But anyway, hopefully it's done now, but it means it's late and I have a whole video to make. You're now decked out. Hey, do I have a... There we go. That probably only went out on the stream. No, that should have gone into Discord as well. Actually.
What? The what?
Like a rim shot sound effect.
Oh.
I do have work, yes. I didn't have work tomorrow. Like, my vacation is the last few seconds. If I didn't have work tomorrow, this wouldn't have been as big of a nightmare as it is. But yeah. Shiro, thank you for the follow. Appreciate that.
Yay.
So, let me show you how we do these things. On this scene. So this... Hey, Casper, thank you for the follow. I mean, I guess that you're the same Casper. This is our board. This is where we track all of the snapshot work. There's a bunch of like color coding and stuff. Basically, this is everything that we discovered as changes for 25W31A. All the kind of green stuff, all the top half of this is the gameplay stuff. So that's everything that was in the main gameplay video. And this is a combination of changelog stuff, close to bugs, stuff that we discover through diffing the data files, basically, and kind of stuff that we discover along the way, either by investigating things because we are wondering about it in-game, or because we saw something on some Discord and there was a discussion about it somewhere while we're making the video. That looks like a lot. This was a lot. So actually, I have some screenshots somewhere of some people who were like, where's your video snapshot, boy? Chop, chop. That I started working on the gameplay video, I would say around noon, slightly before noon of the snapshot day. It was done 5 a.m. So I basically worked 16 hours straight or something. And then people were like, get a move on. Where is the video? And I don't get paid like...
And you only had me for like that last bit of it.
Yeah, there was some helper around pretty much all the time. But there was rarely more than one helper around. And yes, it was a lot. Can you maybe zoom into the section titled Future Update? So, this Future Update is the bug kind of bucket version name on Jira, which is bugs that have been closed for the next snapshot, basically, for the next thing. So these are all the bugs. We have an automated system that puts these cards on here, and then we categorize them into these boxes, basically. So this is everything we know will be fixed in the next snapshot already. And we have them categorized up in like gameplay options, UI. And so nothing's leaked. No, you're not going to get any leaks. We don't use any kind of non-official sources. You just heard me say it's bugs fixed, it's changelog. It's like all of those things are things that anybody could do. A lot of it is like got a whole lot of systems that we've built up over time, but nothing is relying on internal Mojang things, right? So basically the only thing that is preventing us from already making like setups and capturing like, you know, the before and after video side by side things. We could capture the before, and we regularly do capture the before state before the snapshot is out, because we know the bug is going to be fixed. That's also what leads to side by side showcases of bugs that aren't fixed with a sarcastic text across it, because we've already captured, like we've just assumed that the bug is closed and therefore it's fixed. But the only thing that is preventing us from doing so this time is because this video is not done. So here's where we're actually at. This is all the stuff that is marked from this. This is all the technical changes basically from this snapshot, and it's a bunch. So I don't know, like all of the resource pack stuff is just like there's this unused texture, so we're not really going to care about that. There is a new resource pack version. It's because of the pack format changes and because there's a bunch of new textures. New textures could be a minor pack versions, but pack format bump. But now it's a pack format change also. So, yeah, tags stuff is usually mostly from diffing the files. The changelogs tend to be kind of hit and miss. So, one thing that we can see up here on basically every single card is this script written tag. So we use these kind of labels on these cards to track what is done and what isn't, and the assignment. So you can see Epic's been working on these things. Black Score's meant setups for these. This is tagged setup done, which means we have an in-game. Let's play this actually. So, peaceful. Nice. So let me get back to Minecraft. And then we can run this. I'm just going to teleport me to some location. We're going to spin around. You can see this little chunk loading in progress thing is a thing that... Hello, I am inside your face.
Hello.
That's the thing that the mod adds, right? And so I can play that. Actually, this could be interesting. Yeah. This is really interesting, actually.
Huh?
So you can see the whole screen change. That's because we have a system that automates these things. It's not. This is what. So this is a kind of a setup thing, which is a number of things that happen on different times. So we're setting the camera to first person view, the field of view to 70. This is the thing that shortened the screen. So this is basically setting the aspect ratio. So normal aspect ratio is 16:9, right? And so 8:9 is basically half the width, which means the window is going to resize so that the new window size fits this side-by-side view, which means if we do something with chat, for instance, or if there's a UI, we know that it fits in the view that is going to be in the video. Some other times we just like let it clip because it doesn't matter. But in this case, it does matter because there's a chat. It is a private tool, yes.
Yes, to
Name the
those who are
latex.
asking, this is a custom mod.
Yes. Thank you, Fazu. Good to see you. And so this is a bunch of commands that are being run. In this case, we're switching the difficulty to peaceful. We're starting a recording. So this is this mod is connected to my OBS instance. So it's also triggering recording and stopping of recording. So you can see that it recorded this to this specific name. And so the end result of this is I will have this commands dash summon in peaceful dash in this case 1.21.8 and 25W31A because we've done the same in the previous and the new version, which means I have this exactly the same video of the behavior in two different versions of the game. We also have this, like, it's basically typing a text for me, so the typed text is exactly the same also. In this case it's 0 seconds, so it's going to look like basically a copy paste. And then stops recording, turn difficulty back to normal. But in this case, I'm actually going to need to record that because I do need that recording, and I now recorded it in the stream mode, so there was a chat on screen and stuff, which is not going to go in the video. So what's going to happen is I'm going to switch to a game-only scene here, which is going to remove the music, my voice, everything except the game for a little bit while this is recording, and then we'll switch back. So if you trigger any kind of alerts or anything, they won't show up until this, like, they will not show up. And then they are not going to get queued. So it will just be a waste if you do it while you were in that mode. Just so you know, you're not going to be able to disrupt things. So we're going to do that. See you in a bit. All right. Oh, did that reset chat? Interesting. I did not think it would do that, but okay. So now we have another take of this. Now we have take 2 of this video recording, and that's the one that we will actually be used. And as you could tell, no, I'm sorry you did not get any of that on stream. Thank you for the bit. Oh yeah, and then also we're gonna do mark completed on that thing, and what that's gonna do is, see if I can find my desktop thing here. We now have a new label on this card that says new recorded. So now the thing has been marked as recorded, and you don't need to go record it again. So we're trying to automate as much of the process as possible, basically. The thing I can't automate, however, is I'm going to need to write script for all of this. So, will there be a VOD? Yes, this will be archived on my channel as a past stream. Holy mirror board. Yep, I mean it's a lot. And actually, like, I think Black Score put most of these things on here for this one, so very much appreciate that. But the thing that I need to do now is I need to basically go through and write the script, the full script for this video, going through all these cards, figuring out which order I want to talk about them, which is probably going to be kind of pack format, loot tables, commands, data components, game rules. I don't even know. I mean, that was kind of in the main videos, maybe. You talk about the technical changes on the video. I mean, yes. I mean, there's a whole video that is just about the technical changes. That's the one we're making. This is essentially the video about data pack version 82.0 and resource pack version 65.0. So then the voiceover is in post. The voiceover is actually kind of the first thing I record usually. So basically, what's going to happen is we're going to write the script for all of this stuff. I'm going to record the voiceover for all of that. we're gonna edit through the voiceover in like audio only form. Then only then is when we're gonna start adding like actual video to it. But the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna switch to here. Oh, that's slightly awkward. Maybe that's fine. The chat is kind of bumping up against the edit window thing in view, but I think it's okay. Wait, can I have that on the screen? No, that messes up the scaling for some reason. Okay. I guess I can put the mirror board on the other screen. What are you doing, Epic? You're still working on the data pack thing for the loot tables?
Yeah, so I'm still unsure about what items the charge creeper stuff should drop for each of the mobs or something. But that's like the last thing. Everything else I've already sorted out. So.
Oh, that
like
can help.
Maybe,
what's a fun item for charge creeper explosion, like a replacement of the head drop? Get your best, most fun items posted in chat. How many hours takes making one video on average? I think my kind of rough guideline is every minute of video takes about an hour to produce. Copper golem? You can drop a copper golem statue block, I guess. That might be fun.
I'm seeing enchanted golden apple.
Yeah. Makes sense. That's crazy. That sound kind of from speaking to other creators and looking at like discussion forums and stuff. Highly edited video seems to come out at about 1 hour of production per minute of video. Of course, it depends on, like, if you're recording a long session on like a live video, then that's not included, but just like editing and stuff. Tech videos tend to be slightly faster. This one is ironically going to be slower because I'm talking to chat instead of just doing shit. Anyway. Data pack version 82.0 was it? I think it was 82.0.
82.
Yeah, and 65.
Data pack version 82.0 and resource pack version 65.0.
Yep. Could have already been working on the script for 34.5 minutes. That's probably true.
Oh yeah, when I upload the data pack to the server, do you want to show them how that's done as well?
Oh yeah, we can show that thing. It's another. Let me swap. God, the scene is like hidden somewhere. I need to move it. Hold on. Oh, it's not too bad actually. Let's move you here. So, well, there's a bunch of garbage on here, but basically, there's Discord integration for a whole bunch of this stuff. So, here's where we're at right now. We're in the Snapshot Video Factory on my Discord. This is a bunch of channels that people don't see generally. So, Snapshot feed, we have, here's my bot saying, here are all these issues that are fixed. This is what also adds them to the mirror board. We have like, we're following updates from Fabric because we need Fabric for the mod. We don't need Fabric API, but we need Fabric. So here's just a bunch. Here's all the asset changes for this one. We have a process that changes that takes the change log and processes it into Markdown, so that we can use that for a thing that will happen later. And we have this server control thing. So basically, also we had a a problem with my DNS supplier for this video, just because adding some extra difficulty onto it. So that went down and caused the system to kind of fall apart a little bit. But we don't need these snapshot servers all that much. We have two servers generally. We have a server for the previous snapshot, and we have a server for the new snapshot. And we need them to be high-powered servers, but we don't need them to be on all the time. We basically use them like maybe a day per week. So what I have is a system that pulls a cloud instance up when we need it and then shuts it off. Learn to love the light. I generally use light mode.
I use dark mode.
If I have a choice, I'll use light mode on almost everything. You know what? More light. Anyway,
I use dark mode.
Good for you. I mean, so I don't mind people like I find the cult of dark mode really weird. It's like, I don't care what you use whatever you want. But why does this cult of like, oh, you're using light mode, oh my god, I'm now judging your character? What the? Use whatever the hell you want. It just hurts my eyes. You probably just need to go out and touch grass a little bit more and look at the sky. It tends to be light out there, you know? Anyway, this whole system we also use...
If you really want the light, you should look at the sun. I don't recommend
Don't do that. I don't recommend. Anyway, this system we also use for a bunch of things related to the service. We use them to update the mods. We can upload a mod version, new version of the mod through my bot, and we can also update the data pack on the server. It will handle like restarting the server and stuff like that for things that are registries that aren't dynamic. It's extremely difficult to read stuff on my phone in dark mode while in the sun. Huh. But yeah, that's another piece of the system.
Yay.
Okay. Thank you so much for that Prime sub. Was that Zysep? I have no idea if I said that right, but I love the order of like subbing to the channel and then following. But thank you so much. I really gotta start focusing on this actual script writing now. And more. So I'm going to kind of be a little bit notice to follow me for something in lurking. We love our lurkers. Absolutely no requirement to be in chat. But it's just always funny when that happens. So I'm going to be kind of focusing on the script writing for a little bit, which means I will probably be a little bit kind of silent for a bit. I joined Mojang after the acquisition by a year or two, I think. Here to get early access of the video. You can just get it in worse form many times over. All right. So I think the so this answers the question that somebody had right a moment ago. Man, I'm trying to resize my window to showcase the chat while I'm working on it, but it did not want to play ball. The pack versions having minor versions is new.
It would really help if I can spell enchanted golden apple correctly.
Yep. These ones I'm kind of writing mostly by heart, because I am I'm the person who made these. It's the benefit for the tech videos, not so much for the gameplay videos most of the time. Auto-correcting resource names. Just put some AI in there that can guess what you wanted.
Gonna test the loot table roll.
Yeah, go for it.
Yay.
It's another one. Muffin Flinger. Nice. Thank you for the sub and for the follow. Welcome. Great order. Yeah, the yay is so great. It's just how Brian reads yay, and it's like the most soulless, joyless yay you can ever have heard.
Hey, there we go. Dropped wax oxidized color statue.
Nice.
I also missed the creeper and lit the ground on fire.
It's probably reasonable to just spawn a charged creeper. Just set it to charge.
That's what I did. I spawned it. I set it to spawn and then I lit it with a flint and steel to ignite it.
Oh, I see. I thought you meant you summoned a lightning bolt. I get it. Okay.
And Wither Skeleton drops enchanted golden apple.
Nice.
I'm not sure if I even want to bother with the other mobs that drop it.
I mean, I don't know how long that section's gonna be yet, but I can't imagine it being that long. So we probably don't need more than 2 examples.
Yeah, although I did copy the entire folder, so the other files are in there. Unless I delete them, but
I mean that's fine. It's not gonna.
I might just leave the files in. I might just leave the files in there.
Yep.
But yeah, I believe like Armadillo Brush drops diamonds. Turtle Grow drops lime dye. And then what was the other sheer one? Pumpkin Carve drops player heads of sliced slime and 3 of his helpers through rotating. I just don't know why I did that, but I just felt like that was fun. What was the other block interact thing?
This is really annoying. Hold on. This one. Why?
Okay, yeah, that was the only other.
Oh god. Hello, Fedrin. Thank you so much for the raid. Welcome in, folks. We're doing something quite different today.
I haven't edited Harvest Cave Vine yet. I should do that.
Since when YouTube added XP? It's a couple of weeks, I think. After Nier. Oh man, I haven't played that in forever. I need to get back to that.
So what have I made? Cave Vine Harvest drop sweet berries.
Oh, that's a new low tibble?
Yeah, Harvest Cave.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, sure, let's do that.
Sweet berries, because it's berry related.
I am struggling with my amount of windows. I have so much stuff on my monitors. Hope you had a fantastic stream today, Pedro. Achievement hunting complete. Nice. GG. Yeah, this is a behind the scenes stream. We're slowly trying to make a tech news video for 25W318 while also explaining everything.
And one of his helpers is here.
Yep.
And one of his helpers is...
That's Epic in chat. Well, in Discord for chat. How many monitors do I have? I have 2 monitors at the moment. I used to have 3. The third one broke, and I haven't really bothered getting a new one. This is fine in like every other situation than a behind the scenes stream. Because like I use the full space of my monitors for video making, and then I also use the full space of my monitor for streaming.
Yay.
And the overlap is not entirely the same. So yeah, it's just a lot of stuff. Who's that? Code Fox, thank you for the follow. Welcome in. MC. So yeah, thank you for the note in chat there. I did not have a missing A. The window was weirdly cut off. Is what was happening. We're gonna need a lot of B-roll for this.
Oh, hi, Black. In the join message in the chat. Game chat.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. I have my UI turned off of the game because otherwise we'll have text over text. I didn't see it. Nice.
I wonder if he'll also join the Discord call.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I think he's still on his laptop. I also have 2, but 1080p. Oh yeah, I have one 4K monitor and one 1440p monitor. So I use my 4K monitor specifically to be able to record Minecraft in 1440p windowed. And still have space for like chat and stuff around it. Here, that's supported formats.
My laptop's built-in screen is 1080p, and my external monitor is also 1080p.
Format field is now optional. I thought it was removed.
What was removed?
Pack format. Maybe we changed it. Anyway.
I'm about to upload the data.
Sorry, what?
I'm about to upload the data pack.
Oh, yeah, let's show how that works. Switch to this again. So that's also done through the Discord. Your option. You mean opinion on should Minecraft switch game version format into what? I mean, I think developers have already said that, yes.
Is the stream over the window?
What? The stream is on the Discord.
Are you
right
stream?
now. There you go. This one should be /reload, right?
Yeah, it's just loot table.
Cool. So here's Discord didn't used to have support for attaching a file to a command, so these are just chat commands for now. They've added it, but I haven't had time to update it. So sending up a data pack to, in this case, the new server, and then the bot will like upload the pack to the server and do whatever's required for getting it on there. I think it actually does. Yeah, it does a /reload, so it should be fine. So the bot will like inject
Yeah, I already did
commands.
/reload.
Well, the bot does automatically when you upload the pack, actually. So you don't even need to.
Are you at some point going to get around to adapting to migrating that to a / command since they added attachment support?
If the framework I'm using for Linebot has support for it, then yes, at some point. It's quite low on my priority
Are you using
list
JD?
because
Are you using JDA or something?
it's discord.py.
Okay, because I know JDA supports it. So
Yeah, I have no idea. I haven't even looked into
I think
it.
a lot of
The thing is,
I think a lot of frameworks have it updated.
yeah, it's probably going to be supported, but the thing is, it's not high on my priority list because what we have works. Let me switch back to here.
Hello, what's this chest? It's empty. I don't know what that chest was.
I started answering that and then I got caught up. I can't tell you details, but I like some that was already said, so I will answer the question. No, it's not optimal. Yes, there will be some change at some point. To what? And exactly how? Not going to say any details. Oh, it's not version, it's format. This is VS Code, yeah. But it's not an overlay in Minecraft. It's an overlay in OBS. It's just a streaming thing. It changes to 91, not X. Oh, surely. Oh god, screaming cat. What is our time? We have ads coming up in a few minutes. I'm gonna...
Semi being a...
He's being his regular self. I'm gonna drop to an ad break here, folks, and go deal with this cat. He's shouting next to my sleeping wife. I'll see you in a few minutes. Oh god, where do I have all my keybinds? See you soon.
Okay. I don't see the timer
I
running.
think gamey thing.
Oh, he's here again.
Should I try to get a lava bucket?
I have a bucket. Where am I going to get the lava?
From the portal?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna run.
I'm finding a bunch in the ceiling.
We need 8 more. 8 more.
I got 8 here.
Yeah, this is done. This is done.
Who's going to get the winning one?
I got one and
one
bunch in
I got
here.
5 now, so just 3 left.
There
There
we
we
go.
go.
Yeah, boys. Check it out.
We're
61. One ahead. One ahead.
Oh, that's it. We've done it all, right? No more advancements.
Yeah, there's no more
Well,
advancements.
they
Nothing.
can still catch up if they get more.
Okay.
So
Do we now taunt them in chat to distract them? Is that our best use of resources?
Okay, this is kinda safe. Look what you did to this poor nature. Look. Why? You all are worse than climate change. I swear. There it is.
No, I am not okay. I'm still locked up in your basement. Please bring me water.
Shush! You're not supposed to tell the guests. There we go.
Yes. Okay, and now I'm gonna die.
Okay, I just managed to reactivate our portal too. And without causing a massive fire.
There could be a creeper on the other side of the portal, though.
Well, I guess I'll just go find out. I'm not sure how to get that chicken in here safely, so. Yep. Now this portal is broken.
Okay, but now if I go through it...
There was both a creeper and the zombie, and I was trying to pick him up, but I picked up the zombie instead.
Okay.
Okay. Where did you end up now?
Okay, we got another portal now.
Yep.
It's in a safer spot.
Nice. I'll take it. We're doing fine.
It's great. I'm not gonna ask permission for this, okay? But I hope everything is okay.
Well, so it's up to you now.
Okay,
I'm just a passenger on this journey. You get to just go ahead and start working on completing this game. Yep, any moment now.
I'm going to
Whenever you're ready.
Yeah, I'm gonna literally going to carry you through this playthrough.
It's a literal carry. Perfect.
All right, I'm gonna drop you into that horse.
Yep,
there we go.
Or into the hole. I don't know. What do I put in the corners? Do I not put anything?
At the underscore guy 1604 asked for this.
You got it, chat. You got your wish. How in the world? Dude. Okay, fine. That should be safe. What is there? Creeper spawner up here or what?
Did I see another one? No. And it actually ate my crafting table. Yeah, it's gone. Screw you. That's just rude. Can I literally not make any other thing? I can make the rails. That's just so rude. Come on.
There's always another creeper.
This appears to be the rule, yes. Yo, 21 months. Thank you, Clover. That means a lot.
Alright, we're gonna cut that there. Sorry about that. Okay, hi. Also on
hello.
Discord.
Hello.
Hi.
Oh, and Noin's here.
Oh, Noin's here as well. Hello. We're growing.
And that's Jock, for those of you who
Yes,
are on
hello.
the stream.
Hello.
Wanna stand by slicedlime? Something?
I have no idea where he is.
Yeah, I mean,
You
there's
can
a
TP or just go to spectate, or you can either TP or go to spectator and go to his head.
But you could also just do something more useful.
This is all very
Yeah,
advanced.
so just a little hi. Just a little hi to the chat.
You're high behind the
Hello.
field of text, I'm afraid.
Wow, thanks.
Here, go to the
There
other
you go.
go to the other side.
No, you're fine.
Yeah. Right. I was trying to find a location for the setup for the
Yeah, you've
for
claimed
the
like
Charge Creeper one.
all of them. Don't know if there's much left to do. Oh, there's
Yeah.
something.
Yeah. Well, I took all of them because I made the data pack. So
Right.
Right, but do we still need like actual setups for some of them though?
There's one about
yeah, I was gonna. Yeah, it's like I made the data pack. I was gonna do the setups for them. So
Mhm.
I had a location, but then I just TP'd away from it. But I didn't save the coordinates. I haven't even made the spline yet.
We're gonna
I think
need
this
like
is
a
it.
ton of actual B-roll. By the way. Like all of the pack
Alright.
format stuff that's like on screen in the stream is basically just B-roll with a bunch of text boxes. Right? So, and that I don't have it
Yeah.
recorded yet, so I don't have the VO length, but that's like it's looking like a minute to me. B-roll, by the way, if for anybody who's in the stream, is a term used for like filler footage that is not directly a subject. So it's kind of all of the stuff that is in the background that isn't directly showing whatever it is we're talking about. Do I like cats IRL? We have 2 cats. Love me some cats.
I mean, maybe you have them, but you hate them. I don't know.
That would be fun. Sometimes that's true. I wake up at 3 in the morning because one of them is howling next to our bed. Then I'm not as much in favor. But hey, what can you do?
Been a while since I've seen a server tab list on a Snapshot server like that.
Oh yeah.
Usually,
Huh?
whenever I'm on here, it's only like me and Black if I'm online or something.
What the stream does
Like-
to you, I guess.
Probably like Black and I are probably the ones that are probably on here more or something. I don't know, but and Magnar, but he's not here right now.
Yeah, the stream helps. Now I can have an opportunity to be in front of like 60 viewers. Hello.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to photobomb the chat, the stream, you could TP the lime and something.
the honor of being like on stream behind a bunch of stuff. Every time they throw up, I don't mind them throwing up that much. You just kind of clean up. It's not the nicest, obviously, but I don't hate the cats for throwing up. I do hate them for, you know, when they're actually being a menace. But it's not even hate. Disapproval.
That's the wrong window. I meant to open the window with the board, not the screen.
The funniest Snapshot video you've ever done? I don't know. What does that even mean? Like the funniest result? The most enjoyable to make? I don't know.
I like all the crust stuff.
I mean, a lot of them that turn out to be really good quality and really solid videos and stuff are not necessarily all that much fun to make because they tend to be really high effort, really long time input. So I'm often quite exhausted. Some of the most fun, I think, are probably... I don't know, I don't have a good example, but some of the most fun are like when there's a lot of creative stuff involved and we're making a lot of really fun like video segments and stuff. Okay, I think that's all for the stupid pack versions. That's a lot of text.
And especially the ones that just involve like a lot of people working together on the or when there's a lot of people just required to reproduce, like when there's 3 players involved.
Yeah,
I think those are also the most fun to set up. Or when I'm just AFK in the background and you guys include me in the scene.
Yeah, you get credit for it. Fun fact, Jock is in like the title card for something. Just randomly. I think maybe locator bar is the thing. You can see him in the background.
Yeah, locator bar and that locator bar setup for the waypoint style. He was just AFK on an island.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I did anything for the setup.
No, you were just in.
I mean, yeah, I mean like the players and waypoints were hard coded because the textures were for specific player heads, and so yeah, Jock being in there. I had a texture for Jock's head for that one. He just happened to be there, so I did include him in that, and he just happened to stay in there for that other thing. And then when slicedlime went to record the spline for the locator bar title card, Jock just happened to be one of the closer players to get included, and he just got snagged into it.
Yeah. And because he was there, he also got like credited as a helper. All he did was log into the server.
Yeah, all he did. But he got credit because he showed up in video footage.
He showed up.
I think I did do something, but it wasn't much.
No, I can't remember. But I think it was you did something for like the gameplay video, but you got credit for the other video as well because you were in something or whatever.
Yeah.
Is this Snapshot videos hard to make? Depends on the contents. It's a lot of work, often.
What wasn't that the video where Lime was sick?
I'm not sure. It was the same series.
Because there's only one video for that snapshot. You just combined everything in one video for that one. There's the one where where Lime was sick and Noin did the VO.
I'm pretty sure it wasn't. I think I would remember that.
Yeah, I also think it wasn't that one. 13?
I also particularly remember being there and doing something, and like when I just did the VO, I think the VO was the only thing I did. So yeah, I'm pretty sure it wasn't
only
that
did
one.
the VO, but I made a setup for that video. I know because I made the setup for that video.
But it was like multiple videos with the locator bars and stuff.
Yeah,
Anyway,
but
that
like
sucked.
that one where he was standing on an island, the one that he was standing on an island, it was that video where Lime was sick.
I need my other
Because
window.
I made the setup for that. So going over waypoint style, that was that one. Maybe that was for that video for waypoint style. So
Well, let's try to flag some of these things if you can get the window up properly. Try to get some order into this. I've flagged all the pack forward stuff as not shown because we're not going to actually show them. So it'll be all B-roll and then like overlay boxes. Commands are all recorded on the old server. We're using color coding to kind of indicate how far along everything is. Previously, all of this is like new only. Data components, blocks attacks. If the damage reduced in an attack is 0, item annulling is disabled in attack or cost knockback due to the blocking. That's kind of the same as the bug we had in the.
yeah, the same as thing as the shield bug.
Yeah.
Because
I guess
the
I'm
shield
looking at-
blocks attacks components.
It's pretty much exactly the same indeed.
If you want-
I can just use the normal shield.
Yeah, I mean we could use the same
Or just
footage.
use the footage.
Yeah.
Yeah, that works too.
Or even not include it at all because it's just, well, I mean, there's a change to the component, but it's not really a change to the component. If you understand what I mean? Do we have custom worlds? I move stuff around a little bit. Shaders are part of a resource packs actually. So that goes in the resource pack section. Jigsaws belongs together with custom worlds. Quite related. What are we saying about this? We just reuse footage.
I mean, yeah, I guess it makes sense because then you also show like what this is for.
Yeah. So that would be somewhere under gameplay. This one. Go. God damn it. What? There we go. Remove spawn chunk radius game rule. Thanks, Geometry dude. I think we
And it's
had,
one of those like show that it doesn't exist.
we had that also. Also the gameplay? Spawn chunks and spawn chunk game rules removed. Yeah. We can reuse this also. We'll need to write script for all this, but custom worlds. No bug. Processor type. These are all kind of somewhat high effort to show. These are the important things. These I don't know, actually. If we're going to show these bug fixes, we should probably... Well, this we can't show. We'll just crash. But if we are going to show the other two bug fixes, we should probably show them side by side. All the tags are new only. All the shader stuff is probably B-roll. Will the stream go until the tech video is finished? No. And it's unlikely to be finished in time because it's about 11 here. And I do need to get up for work tomorrow. My vacation is over. Okay, well that's as much as I got. This is probably new only. And so are these. But I don't know what to do about the two bugs in custom worlds. This music is wild. Alright, let's go back here.
You're not gonna use that. Well, I have the stream muted, so I can't even hear the music, but I have the stream open still to see chat.
I think that was probably good for your focus, because that was some kind of circus music. Fields to specify a target entity in a loot table, such as entity properties.entity, can additionally target the target entity and interacting entity parameter types. Where is that? Oh, it's just in the middle of all the thing. Okay. That's probably the first thing you put in the script, honestly. Fields to specify target entity in a loot table. Additionally, target the target entity and the interacting entity parameter types.
Yay.
Well. King Arthur, thank you for the follow. And thank you, what is that? Dimitsa? Dimuka? Which snapshot this is for? This is for the previous snapshot, 25W31A. This is the technical news for data packs and resource packs. Is this still showing up on stream properly? Yeah, it's fine. Any... Entity interact, block, interact. The optional entity that is interacting with the target entity. I guess a dispenser would be. There are many plans for like future data driving of blocks and items. That's all I will say about it. So, actually, this is the table type. Okay. Probably need to move these around. Block, interact. What IDE do you use? This is VS Code, which is not generally what I use to write script in, but it is what I have showcase on stream. So I'm doing this one in it. Okay, so that was... okay. I'm not so sure about this not shown things anymore. Which ones do you make examples for? Epic. Maybe not. Might be gone. Do you think data-driven mob variants could become a thing for every mod? Of course. With enough effort and development. When? Who knows? Okay, I am actually going to add these back. So, let's go here. So this is what I'm talking about. Kind of not shown on all of these, which I don't like, because there's a distinct part about block interact and entity interact being a new loot table type versus the new loot tables themselves. Pumpkin seeds, skillberries. This one is the one that I just wrote the script for. On the other hand, they are all new only. Let's see. Brush armadillo, turtle grow is not even on here. Card. Beehive harvesting, cave vine harvesting, carving pumpkins. Pumpkin seeds, honeycomb, clover. Okay. Those are actually on here. But I am going to sever the links. Just woke up because my sleep schedule is very normal. Well, good morning or whatever. Whatever it is in the Fabian local time zone. All right, let's go back here. Quite arbitrary set of loot tables. This and this we've done. Pumpkin seeds. Wow, typing is hard when you're tired. Pumpkin or no. What was that? Carve / pumpkin. Whatever. Welcome back as well. I hope that isn't too noisy. It's adjusting my microphone boom arm and it made a squeaky noise. Alright, so where are we at? All of the loot table stuff is written. And errors. World gen changes or something else. Well, yeah. Going on your first trip. Nice. Where to?
Yay.
Hydrofletch? My guess on how to pronounce that. Thank you so much for the follow. Welcome in. Okay, that's that. Alright, we're getting somewhere. We have custom worlds, jigsaws, and tags and shaders left. Weird spelling, like Hydro, but more unique, I guess. Well, people gotta have some unique nickname. That works. So now we gotta try to explain these. These custom world, like the noise settings. Right. He says while complaining about the spelling of mine each time he types it. That might have something to do with the fact that I have to spell your nickname quite often. And I get it wrong very often. Oh god, that is not what I meant to do. Surface function.
A pig just walked in front of me when I was doing F3I, so I inserted the pig summon command instead of the block set block command when doing that.
Nice.
One in 7 output.
Yes, I got F3I bombed by a pig.
Okay. So that would be... I guess I should show you this too. this done. It's starting to get somewhere. All of this is script written. This will not have script written because it's not included. Need these bug fixes. Processor type block 8. That's actually a jigsaw thing. If we're gonna be picky. Need carver. Did not expect another voice? What do you mean? There have been people on Discord the entire stream.
Boo.
What about another voice?
All right. We need with smoothness. A carver to here. Error did a machine the game. Rotation. A biome to none. Event. No. So the people in the Discord currently are Epic, Jock, and Noinine.
Hi.
Hello.
Those are the people who can speak. That's all of the custom world stuff. Oh, come on. Max System Center. Are they called block processors or something? The age processor, I guess. I'm the technical lead of the Java core team, which is one of the teams working on Java Edition. It's not the entire like Java Edition development. It's essentially the engine team, if you will. So that is all of the jigsaw things. And then the only remaining thing for the 40-second B-roll. Nice. I will switch view to this again. So here's what happened. Black scores marked. All of this is not shown and moved it all to a B-roll. So I'm going to move that to the B-roll thing. And then not move this frame around. Moved new only. This is now actually red. It's a great team. A lot of good people in it. Some of them like very public and you know of them. Some of them not known at all. By choice, right? Do you know how many millions of people you've had a positive impact on because of the work you do in this game? No, I don't have that number. I also don't know how many millions of people I've annoyed by making my changes. Probably evens out. I do my best. What are all these? Copper chests, copper. Incorrect for copper tool. Copper golem statues. The only relevant thing here is incorrect for copper tool. Repairs copper armor. Copper tool materials. Okay. Copper chests. Copper blocks. Copper golem statue blocks. He hasn't ended world hunger, but he has added flesh fill biome, which is close enough. Well, I mean, to each their own. Genuine question here, as the website hasn't answered it well. If I do not live in Sweden or Washington, I cannot work for Mojang. Generally, I would just say the answer is probably no. There are some exceptions. Maybe in some parts of the US. The Stockholm office is basically like local. So you'd have to move if you wanted to work. And in fact, a lot of the people who work on the team have moved in. Okay. That's all the block tags.
Just do /TP.
/TP. Noob. Copper. Tool. Here's copper armor tags. Can't target furniture with /TP. I don't know. You gotta export a structure block before you move or something. Before you teleport, I mean. Type equals furniture. Clone? Yeah, there you go. So many good ideas here. It's great. Whose idea was it to remove render layers without the convenient render pipeline replacement? I mean, so, look. There's a lot of work going on about rendering. It's all a bunch of, like, under the hood stuff leading up to the point where we can do, like, vibrant visuals stuff on Java, right? It's not gonna all be... oh, we did this one thing. Like, there's a continued line of development. Right? And then the stuff happens, releases happen. So it's not like that particular place was like, oh, that was our target and now we've released and we realized, oh, we should do something more. It's, we released this as part of the development going forwards. And now there's more development and that will be in the next thing and the next thing and the next thing, right? That's what it means to rework a core system like that. Where do you apply? There are jobs pages on like the websites. I think there are two separate ones, but you can probably Google that. What are these shader changes? I have not even looked. It's just tons of new.
The setup for the block interact loot table type is done. I have had some misses, but I think that's just my FPS missing some click inputs.
Okay. Do you, so what are they?
For that one?
Yeah.
Pumpkin carve, bee harvest, and bee hive harvest, and cave vine harvest.
Okay, so it's all of those in one setup.
Yeah, all of them, and the spline is 10 seconds long.
10 seconds.
Don't go backwards, bro.
That might be. Oh, hold on, it's this.
I mean, I can extend it. I made it. I wasn't sure how long it should be because, of course, you don't have the script yet.
I think that might be short. We should probably do like 20. It's these two things basically. It might be enough, but I'm not sure it's enough. So I'd rather have extra footage than too little.
I mean, if it's long enough, that will give me some more room to actually do all the shearing.
Yeah.
If it's longer, because I've been trying to cram it all.
Yeah, I think we'll have. We'd rather have more time there.
I mean, yeah.
When I started 3 sentences in the script.
Yeah, when I started the charge creeper one, I made that one 20 seconds. That's not done yet though. So I can probably. Will it work if I just stretch this?
Yeah, there's a stretch all. I think
I know there's a stretch all, but I was like, I'm just saying, I'm just wondering if it'll still look okay if I just stretch it.
It
because
should
then I won't have to
if you do stretch all. Try it. I don't know. It might mess up. and
I mean, like all the the setup stuff is just at the beginning of the end. The only thing in the middle is just a camera interpolation and input recording. So that should be the only thing that's stretched. The other stuff, like the resetting the blocks at the beginning and clearing the inventory and killing the items at the end, that thing should be fine. I think it's more the input recording that's gonna be the issue if it gets messed up.
No, I think the only thing you can do is try it and see.
Stretch 2 all.
I am just stealing that straight out of the changelog.
Okay, I will have to redo input because it also stretches my holding down WASD stuff, and I overshoot it.
Right. How regularly do you interact with the public-facing members of Mojang, such as Jeb, Agnes, and Vu? Extremely rarely with Vu. I don't know. Semi-regularly with Jeb. Reasonably often with Agnes. Depends on their different positions in the company, right? It's not about them being public facing or not. If I send a bunch of optimizations to Java Edition server, would you look at it? Probably not. Now only executed with 3 vertices instead of... Well, that's fine. I don't think writing a script for a video has ever taken this long. So there are a number of things with the kind of code changes and stuff. We do like look at mods and stuff in the community. We don't take code, but we take inspiration. And a lot of the kind of like data fixer upper and stuff PRs to that. The problem is there are internal plans and a lot of stuff doesn't align with it, and so there are legal issues with just copying code into vanilla. And there were even we could probably work around the legal issues, right? We could get enough rights signed away, because if people want to contribute code, then they would sign the appropriate legal documents or whatever. But we're taking in that case on legacy code, right? If we take a chunk of code, either we have to invest developer time enough into it that we fully understand that code, at which point it would probably have been faster for that developer to look at the problem and fix the problem. Because very often the most common thing that happens is we look at code from the community, immediately identify how it's wrong, and don't take it. That's usually what happens. Like very, very often the verdict is this is not good enough. Well, I didn't ask you to take it on, just look at it. I know, we're just talking about the discussion in chat overall. Can you look at my mods code to fix it? Do I look like somebody who has a lot of spare time to do a lot of more coding? All right. It's 30 minutes to midnight, and here I am making a video, so, you know, obviously that means I have a lot of spare time. All right, let's go here. This is Magic's Vegas. It's my video editing software that I use. Slicedlime mod code review stream when? I do enough code reviewing, thank you very much. This is the video project for the gameplay video. So you can see some of the level of complexity of like the finished video. Yeah. So this is all the edited VO. These are the soundtrack things. These are all the clips. In this case, like here, where there's side-by-side thing with a version number tag stuff on top. And then all of these, like these are all the included clips. So yeah, there's a lot of work that goes into these things. What I'm gonna do now is delete it all, because we're not working on this video. We're gonna work on a different video. I'm not gonna save that over. I'm gonna save that as data pack 82.0 resource pack 65. 65. Oh, thanks. Very nice. We're coming up on the ads. I'm just gonna keep going. Did you see earlier in line 19 the field name should be formats? Thank you. Alright, don't need these anymore. I don't use these for the pack format videos. I want to get rid of most of this stuff. I need that. Garbage stuff. Don't want these. I will keep these though. They have effect settings that I want. The audio is in the right folder. Voice. Yes. Okay, good. Ads seem like a perfect time for Shameless Prime plug. Yes. Yeah, if you you're subbed to the channel, then you don't get ads. There you go. And you can use your Prime for that. Okay, so what's gonna happen now is we're gonna record all of this garbage. That's a lot of stuff to record. Holy crap. So I'm gonna move that off and have that on my main monitor. Is now ginormous. That was a bad idea actually. Well, maybe it's fine. I don't know how much more we need this. I'm actually gonna open it in a different editor that I usually use for this stuff, because that will make it much easier for me to read. It is just so late for me doing this. Why are you showing stuff this way? Details, thank you. That's the file. What is that? Too bad I don't know a junior dev to review my code. Well, I mean, junior devs reviewing code is a way to learn. Spread knowledge about the code base. All right, so I am going to be dropping off of the Discord. Let's see, how can I do this? Yeah, it should be fine. I'm going to be dropping the Discord. I mean, well, basically definitely muting myself on the Discord. And I'm going to be recording all this VO, which is probably going to include like a bunch of outtakes, a bunch of like stumbling on words and whatever. That's what happens. And that's why we do like a whole VO edit cleanup afterwards. Oh, hey, a light mode cultist. Very nice. Now I need to unmute the stream. Yeah. Talked about that earlier. I find it deeply fascinating how people who use light mode tend to just be normal people, and the people who use dark mode tend to be absolute fucking cultists who care about what other people use on their computer. Just use whatever you like. It's not difficult. Thank you for the sub. I appreciate that, Shiro. Hold on a second. Fully close my studio door for this. You've like fully minimized the amount of noise in the background. Don't worry about that noise. I'm a light mode Twitter cultist, though. I think Twitter and cultists fit very well together nowadays. Anyway, I'm gonna stop reading chat and start reading this long ass script. It has 6,416 characters in it. Oh boy. Usually also, this is going to be interesting because usually what I do is I will crank up a bunch of can I get my voice out of my ears? Probably can't. I usually crank up volume on music in my headphones because basically that makes you speak louder for the recording, even if I'm not recording, you know, the music. But whatever, we'll leave it and we'll just try this. And I'm tired, which means usually means a lot more stumbling, so enjoy, I suppose. There are usually some really bad tongue just twisting things in there, so sometimes I have like 8 retakes on stuff. Whatever. Snapshot 25W31A includes minor pack versions and data pack version 82.0 and resource pack version 65.0 with new loot tables and more. My name is slicedlime and this is a showcase of all the changes. Let's start with pack versions. Pack versions for both data and resource packs now have minor version support. Minor versions of the pack formats are always forward compatible, and breaking changes are done with new major versions. This means things like added items will now be minor version changes rather than major ones. A pack made for a given major version will keep working. A pack made for a given major version will keep working on new minor versions, but may not keep working on new major versions. Your pack can list the major version alone for the minimum or maximum supported format of a pack, which means that the pack supports all minor versions on that major version. If you want, it is also possible to specify a minor version for the minimum or maximum. This also means the format of the pack.mc meta file has changed. This is done in such a way that the game will try to validate that the format is correct for all versions in the range that your pack declares support for. That means that the supported formats field has been removed, but is still required if your data... Hold on. That means that the supported formats field has been removed, but is still required if your pack declares support for pack versions before the switch. A similar thing applies for the pack version field. It is now optional, but if the supported version range includes a version before the new format, the field is still required. There are 2 new fields for declaring the supported formats. They are min format and max format. These fields can be a single integer, which is interpreted as the major version number and all its minor versions. You can also specify a list of 2 integers, which is interpreted as a major and a minor version number. Similar changes have been made to the overlay entry format, where the formats field has been removed. But if the pack supports a version before the switch... this script is wrong here. But if the pack supports a version before the switch, it is still required for all overlay entries, even the newer ones. Overlays also now have min format and max format fields. Overlays also now have min format and max format fields with... more script errors. Overlays also now have min format and max format fields with the same formats as the one for the pack section. With all that said, let's move on to the data pack changes, starting with loot tables. Fields that specify a target entity in a loot table, such as the entity field in entity properties, can now additionally target the target entity and interacting entity parameter types as well. There are 2 new loot table types. The entity interact loot table type has been added and has 3 parameters. Target entity is the entity being interacted with. Interacting entity is the entity that is interacting with the target entity, if any. And tool is the tool used to interact. There's a similar new loot table called block interact, which also has the interacting entity and tool parameters in addition to block state and block entity for the interacted block. There are now also a number of new loot tables. The charged creeper/root loot table dispatches on the mob that was killed, which means the head drops from mobs killed by charged creeper explosions can now be modified in loot tables. Once any mob killed drops an item from this loot table, no other mobs killed by the same creeper will drop... wrong in the script. No other mobs killed by the same creeper will drop any loot from this loot table. The brush/armadillo loot table controls what is dropped when an armadillo is brushed. The gameplay/turtle grow loot table controls what drops when a turtle grows up. Harvest/beehive is for... Harvest/beehive is for... Harvest/beehive is for when a beehive is harvested, and harvest/cave vine is for when a glowberry is harvested. And drops from shearing a pumpkin are now controlled by the carve/pumpkin loot table. In command news, a bug causing some command errors to state "see below for details" without any actual details below has been fixed. And commands that summon monsters now fail in peaceful worlds rather than... And commands that summon monsters now fail in peaceful worlds instead of successfully summoning a monster that vanishes a tick later. A data component has been changed. The block's attacks component no longer causes the item to be disabled if 0 damage was actually blocked for any reason. And a game rule change. The spawn chunk radius game rule has been removed, together with the spawn chunks themselves. In custom world news, a noise settings field has been replaced. The initial density without jaggedness has been The initial density without jaggedness field has been removed with a new 2D preliminary surface level. Been removed. The initial density without jaggedness field has been removed and replaced with a new 2D preliminary surface level field. This is a function expected to produce the Y level of the approximate surface level. To replicate the previous field, you can use the new find top surface density function. Speaking of new density functions, there's also a new one. Speaking of new density functions, there's also another new one, invert, that produces the result of dividing 1 with the argument density function. There are also some custom world related bug fixes. Setting with smoothness in a carver to 0 now produces an error instead of crashing the game. And setting the precipitation in a biome to none now properly prevents snow from accumulating. In Jigsaw related news, the max distance from center field can now optionally specify different limits for horizontal and vertical axes. This is done by making the field This is done by making the field an object with horizontal and vertical fields instead of a single number. A bug has been fixed with zombie villager variants and professions not being properly restored when they got placed using jigsaws. And another bug with the block age processor has been fixed to handle slab block states properly. In tag news, there are a number of new tags. The incorrect for copper tool block tag has been added, together with collection tags for copper blocks, copper chest blocks, and copper golem statue blocks. The copper tool materials and repairs copper armor tags have been... item tags. Okay. The copper tool materials and repairs copper armor item tags have been added, together with the collection item tag variants of the aforementioned block tags. In resource pack news, in addition to all the new textures and models, there are a number of changes to shaders. A number of core and post shaders have been removed and replaced with a new core/screen quad shader. Vertex shaders for post-processing effects as well as light map generation and full-screen blitz are no longer past the position attribute, and instead must assign vertex coordinates by GL vertex ID. These passes are now also only executed with 3 vertices instead of a full quad. And that's all the changes in these pack versions. Thank you for watching. My name is slicedlime, and I'll see you next time. All right. So yeah, there are a number of like weird pronunciations and stuff. Like sometimes I notice, sometimes I don't. Sometimes I notice when editing and go like, okay, that's fine. I don't care. And sometimes I notice
I unmuted the stream when you're doing.
Okay, so next step here is to delete that. Good, we're done. But we're gonna process that and then add the cleaned up version to the... That did really not feel all that bad for re-recording. No. It could have been worse. So this is Audacity, free audio processing software. The signal is extremely clean, but we'll run noise reduction on it. I have like a filter chain set up that will try to normalize the sound and stuff, so we always have something good to work from. What did I just do? Okay, well that's great. I'm saving that as a new file instead of overwriting it, so I can always, if something goes wrong, I can always redo the process. I don't have to recapture all the VO. And now we're gonna have a really fun thing. So first I'm gonna double check where the sound goes. Snapshot 25W31A includes minor pack version. It goes on the music channel. Why does it do that? Let's pull you out on the Discord channel instead. Snapshot 25W. That's better. So, your words are music to our ears, I guess. At least I guess I thought so, or whatever. So I'm gonna be editing this. That's gonna involve a lot of chopped up sound. I'm gonna be playing this, like jumping back and forth and stuff. I'm sorry, it usually sounds awful, but you on the stream will have to listen to it. Otherwise, this will make no sense. But I'll probably be mostly silent during this time. Yeah. Snapshot 25W31A includes minor pack versions and data pack version 82.0 and resource pack version 65.0 with new loot tables and more. My name is slicedlime and this and more. My name is slicedlime and this is a showcase of all the changes. Let's start with pack versions. And while we're doing this, we're also going to add the title cards for this stuff. And that basically is the section markers, so then I can use those for like the... What are they called? Like the chapter notes. Have you ever asked if they could create video like this for the official Minecraft channel? I've been asked several times if I would like that, but like, I already work for that company. I don't need to put all of this time additionally into that. And if they would do it, well, I guess I would stop. Let's start with pack versions. Pack versions for both data and resource packs now have minor version support. Minor versions of the pack formats are always forward compatible, and breaking changes are with new major versions. This means with pack versions and breaking. I am going to do a thing here. I need to switch off the music. But I can switch off the music only for me. Or no, this isn't the one I want. Microphone for 1 out, 3 out. This would be the one. Yes. Okay, cool. Yeah, so I don't want to remove the music from the stream. Yeah, it's still going, but I need to hear like the weird breaths and stuff in this, so I need like silence. But I can just switch off the music for me, because I don't know that that's a very pleasant thing to listen to. Breaking changes are done with the new major versions. This means things like added items, a pack. Breaking changes are done with the new major versions. This means things like added items will now be minor version changes rather than major ones. A pack made for a given major version will... I am recognizing the kind of voice patterns in these previews, and that way I can see where I've kind of done retakes. So that's why I could just skip ahead a bit there, rather than major ones. A pack made for a given major version will keep working on new minor versions, but may not keep working on new versions, but may not keep working on new major versions. Also trying to cut so that I don't take a restart clip at this first word, because you tend to pronounce a word slightly differently when it's in a sentence versus if you're starting to say that. Minor versions, but may not keep working on new major versions. Your pack can list the major version alone for the minimum or maximum supported format of a pack, which means that the pack supports all which means that the pack supports all a pack, which means that the pack supports all minor versions on that major version. If you want, it is also possible to specify a minor version for the minimum or maximum. This also means the format of the pack.mc meta file has changed. This is done in such a way that the game will try to validate that the format is correct for all versions in This is done in such a way that the game will try to validate that the format is correct for all versions in the range that your pack declares support for. That means that the supported formats field has been removed, but is still required if your data... That means that the supported formats field... That means that the supported formats field has been removed, but is still required if your pack declares support for a... Before the... Declares support for a... Your pack declares support for pack versions before the switch. The switch. A similar thing applies for the pack version field. It is now optional, but if the supported version range includes a version before the new format, the field is still required. There are two new fields for declaring the supported formats. They are min format and max format. Formats. They are min format and max format. These fields can be a single integer, which is interpreted as the major version number and all its minor versions. You can also specify a list of two integers, which is interpreted as a major and a minor version number. Similar minor version number. Similar changes have been made to the overlay entry format, where the formats field has been removed. But if the pack supports a version before... entry format, where the formats field has been removed. But if the formats field has been removed. But if the pack supports a version before the switch, it is still required for all overlay entries, even the newer ones. Overlay entries, even the new overlays also now have min format and max format. Overlays also now have min format. Newer ones. Overlays also now have min format and max format fields with the same formats as the one for the pack section. Same formats as the one for the pack section. With all that said, let's move on to the data pack changes, starting what do I want? This. Not going to use any of the... With all that said, let's move on to the data pack changes, starting with loot tables. Loot tables. Fields that specify a target entity in a loot table, such as the entity field in entity properties, can now additionally target the target entity and interacting entity parameter types as well. There are two new loot table types. The entity interact loot table type has been added and has 3 parameters. Target entity is the entity being interacted with. Interacting entity is the interacting entity is being interacted with. Interacting entity is the entity that is interacting with the target entity, if any. And tool is the tool used to interact with the target entity, if any. And tool is the tool used to interact. There's a similar new loot table called block interact, which also has the interacting entity and tool parameters in addition to block state. In addition to block state and block entity for the interactive block. There are now also interactive block. There are now also interactive block. Interactive block. There are now there are the rationale for cutting that space that doesn't get shortened. There's like slight breath sounds and stuff there. That's why I have the music off, because otherwise it's not audible, but still cleaning up the audio. The interactive block. There are now also a number of new loot tables. The Charged Creeper loot tables. The Charged Creeper / Root loot table dispatches on the mob that was killed, which means the head drops from mobs killed by Charged Creeper explosions can now be modified in loot tables. Once any mob killed drops an item from this loot table, no other mobs killed by the same creeper will drop table. No other mobs killed by the same creeper killed. No other mobs killed by the same creeper will drop any loot from this loot table. Loot from this loot table. Loot from this loot table. The Brush / Armadillo loot table controls what is dropped when an armadillo is brushed. The Gameplay / Turtle Grow loot table controls what drops when a turtle grows up. Harvest / Beehive is when a turtle grows up. Harvest / Beehive is for when a beehive is harvested, and Harvest / Cave Vine is for when a glowberry is harvested. And drops from shearing a pumpkin are now controlled by the Carve / Pumpkin loot table. In command news, a bug causing some command errors to state "see below for details" without any actual details below has been fixed. And commands that summon below has been fixed. And commands that summon monsters now fail in peaceful worlds instead of successfully summoning a monster that vanishes a tick later. A data component changed. The block's attacks component no longer causes the item to be disabled if 0 damage was actually blocked for any reason. And a game rule change. The spawn chunk radius game rule has been removed, together with the spawn chunks themselves. In custom world some of these title cards will probably get like shortened later when I try to actually fit them in video. Like there's lightly over a second for the entire game rule change. This settings field has been replaced. The initial density with I stumbled on this a lot. A noise settings field has been replaced. The initial density without jaggedness field has been removed and replaced with a new 2D preliminary surface level field. This is a function expected to produce the Y level of the approximate surface level. To replicate the previous field, you can use the new Find Top Surface Density function. Speaking of new density functions, there's also a use the new Find Top Surface Density function. Speaking of new density functions, there's also another new one, Invert, that produces the result of dividing 1 with the argument density function. There are also some custom world related bug fixes. Setting width smoothness in a carver to 0 now produces an error instead of crashing the game. And setting the precipitation in a biome to none now properly prevents snow from accumulating. In Jigsaw related news, the max distance from center field can now optionally specify different field can now optionally specify different limits for horizontal and vertical axes. This is done by making horizontal and vertical axes. This is done by making the field an object with horizontal and vertical fields instead of a single number. A bug instead of a single number. A bug has been fixed with zombie villager variants and professions not being properly restored and vertical axes. This is done by making the accumulating. In Jigsaw fields instead of a single number. A bug has been fixed with zombie villager variants and professions not being properly restored when they got placed using jigsaws. And another bug with the block age processor has been fixed to handle slab block states properly. In tag news, there are a number of new tags. The incorrect for copper tool block tag has been added, together with the collection tags for copper blocks, copper chest blocks, and copper golem statue blocks. The copper golem statue blocks. The copper tool materials and repairs copper armor item tags have been added, together with the collection item tag variants of the aforementioned block tags. In resource pack news, block tags. In resource pack news, in addition to all the new textures and models, there are a number of changes to shaders. There are a number of changes models. There are a number of changes and models. There are a number of changes to there are a number of changes to shaders. There are a number of changes to shaders. A number of core and post shaders have been removed and replaced with a new core/screen quad shader. Vertex shaders for post-processing effects, as well as light map generation and full screen blitz, are no longer past the position attribute, and instead must assign vertex coordinates by GL vertex ID. These passes are now also only executed with vertex coordinates by GL vertex ID. These passes are now also only executed with 3 vertices instead of a full quad. And that's all. And that's all the changes in these pack versions. Thank you for watching. My name is slicedlime, and I'll see you next time. Alright. Now I get music again. So that's the first draft of the video. We kind of know now at this point how long the video is going to be roughly. We know the length of the sections, which means I can put down all the timings, all the B-roll and stuff we need. Which means the intro starts kind of when this is here somewhere to here. That's about 15 seconds. Where in the world is my window here? So I guess the question for black scores is the intro spline that you've made 15 seconds. Pack formats B-roll needs to be 1 minute and 45 seconds.
I'm almost done with all the loot table setup stuff. I'm finishing up the charge creeper one. All the
Sweet.
other ones are done.
It's 14 seconds. That might be just slightly too little. We'll see. Shaders B-roll.
Yeah. Well, Black's not here anymore, so...
I mean, he's in chat. 26.
Yeah, but he's not here. He's not here on the server and stuff.
I might be able to get there. Stretched footage. Oh, that never looks good. I have done that in rare cases. When it's very, very slight, but yeah, it really doesn't end up great.
What about a stretched spline?
Stretched spline is fine. Usually. So the mod that we use has a functionality for taking a setup that's done and stretching it out, like multiplying the length of it and trying to adapt everything. I can get there once my laptop loads up the game and everything. What was it called in Vegas? What thing in Vegas? All right. Anyway, we now have. We got a number of these that are like old recorded and one that is new recorded. So we can throw those in there. Commands should have both of the things. So let's go here. Commands, error below. So here's how that looks. That's a... Okay. So that's a top and up and below thing. So I am going to do this. I'm not. Why not? Hold up. That works. It's my keybind. Could have swore it was that. Okay, scripting. Control Shift Alt T. Something else eating that keybind? Because that is not working. Something called Twixer, which helps out with stretching if necessary. I don't know. I don't basically ever stretch things over time. Okay, well, I guess I can... Oh, that sucks. Let's not do too many things above and below, I suppose, because I'm streaming, for some reason, some piece of software, I'm guessing OBS, but I'm not sure, is like eating the input for that. That's wrong. So I guess I have to move this over here so you can see it. So basically we want to adapt so the right half of the screen is there. So that's that, I suppose. And then versions above and below is this. I want all those. Without any actual details below has been fixed. And commands, that's... And the other command fix. Command, so summon in peaceful is this thing. And that is a side-by-side thing. Why are you doing that? It's 15 seconds long. Well done, past me. GG. What are you doing, Vegas? I wonder if Vegas is struggling a little bit with all the streaming and stuff going on. Is a bit sensitive to like available video memory. Also, quite stupid when it comes to undo cues sometimes. Ooh, no, this shouldn't matter. That's someone in peaceful on. Yeah, this is an old recording. Okay, I guess where you started. I thought it was gonna come back to life, but I guess it not. I habitually save like 14 times a minute anyways. Oh, it's not in the... Probably got Chrome running in with 2 tabs in the background. No, but I do have like about 50 Firefox tabs open. Don't use Chrome. Alright, we basically didn't lose anything, so let's do that again. Okay, this time it works fine. We'll adjust this to here. We'll do this, that. Keyboard shortcut works for some reason when the other one didn't. Side by side thing. Do that, and then I have another keyboard shortcut that just finds the scripting piece that finds the appropriate clips and put it side by side here. Fixed. And commands, that's... I guess this chat is really poorly positioned for this preview. Maybe we move everything out a little bit. Move it there. You'll see what's going on. Actual details below has been fixed. And commands that summon monsters now fail in peaceful worlds instead of successfully summoning a monster that vanishes. I was wondering one thing, was it you fixed the string duplication bug? It might have been me. The string duplication bug has a really weird history in that it was identified in the code review of some completely unrelated change, like some refactor. And somebody went like, I don't want to fix this in the middle of this refactor. So it was just added as a comment like, this is wrong, fix this. And then that was forgotten about for a long time. It just sat there. Okay, so we need to record this on the new server. That's this card. And now I need to be in Minecraft. Where's my mouse pointer? It's there. Oh, very nice. Epic is just being blown up repeatedly. I need to have this on. I actually need to be in the other scene.
Don't mind the death messages. It's nothing.
Yeah, figured. All right. And now I can just go in here, use my keyboard shortcut again. We get the same thing. That gives a clear view on the difference. And that means I can go back into the game and run the mark completed command, which means I'll have to reload this thing, which is super annoying. Means we have our first green. Sadly, there's a lot of other stuff, but I do feel like a lot of this is going to be B-roll with overlays. Which reminds me, we should probably start working on overlays. But I've messed up my Visual Studio Code thing now, which is quite awful, I guess. We go back into this view. I need to open the thing. Hold on. So this is the markdownified version of the changelog that my systems have made. Let's readjust this thing. That's probably okay. So I have a system that will generate, so we don't need any of this stuff. We want to detect changes. So you can see these little markers that are not kind of they're not markdown. So I have a markdown processing tool thing that will make the overlay cards that I have based on these. So we'll probably take this pack formats.png to here. Well, I guess we just go pack the data png. Probably need to break this into several. And then like overlays. Oops. So let's actually, where do I? Oh boy, that's interesting. Is this gonna work? Okay. It's fine. We're chill. Let's get that off the stream view. Don't need to have that open. I don't even know where it went now. Okay. That could have given me a bunch of PNGs if I can find my desktop thing again there. And it did. So we can toss those in here. Now I have the overlay boxes for that. And that's why I kept these, because they have the kind of transition keying that I want. Almost. There we go. And we don't need these anymore. And resource packs now have minor version support. Minor versions of the pack formats are always forward compatible, and breaking changes are done with new major versions. This means things like added items will now be minor version changes rather than major ones. A pack made for a given major version will keep working on new minor versions, but may not keep working on new major versions. Your pack can list the major version alone for the minimum or maximum supported format of a pack, which means that the pack supports all minor versions on that major version. If you want, it is also possible to specify a minor version for the minimum or maximum. This also means the format of the pack.mc meta file has changed. This is done in such a way that the game will try to validate that the format is correct for all versions in the range that your pack declares support for. That means that the supported formats field has been removed, but is still required if your pack declares support for pack versions before the switch. A similar thing applies for the pack version field. It is now optional, but if the supported version range includes a version before the new format, the field is still required. There are two new fields for declaring the supported formats. They are min format and max format. These fields can be a single integer, which is interpreted as the major version number and all its minor versions. You can also specify a list of two integers, which is interpreted as a major and a minor version number. Similar changes have been made to the overlay entry format, where it's interpreted as a major and a minor version number. Similar changes have been made to the overlay entry format, where the formats field has been removed. But if the pack supports a version before the switch, it is still required for all overlay entries, even the newer ones. Overlays also now have min format and max format fields with the same formats as the one for the pack section. Nice. So now that's all of the overlays are done for that section. Yeah, that's how I make the cards nowadays. I used to have screenshotting and making it a frame automatically and stuff, but this, yeah, just rework this toolchain to do this is just so much faster. All right, so all the loot table stuff is next. Probably do this. Lock interact. interact. Not these. And I made a script for
Are you
the
gonna
frame.
record the
way
set
back,
splines?
yeah.
Are you about to record the splines?
No, working on overlays. This might be a bit much for one. We'll try. Oh. I guess I closed it. Script feeding directly into Vegas, or does it get exported externally and then imported into Vegas? It's just spitting out PNG files. So I'm just pulling them in. I feel like I made more than that. Target entity fields is definitely first. And entity interact, block interact. I think that's the order. Data pack changes, starting with loot tables. Fields that specify a target entity in a loot table, such as the entity field in entity properties, can now additionally target the target entity and interacting entity parameter types as well. There are two new loot table types. The entity interact loot table type has been added and has 3 parameters. Target entity is the entity being interacted with. Interacting entity is the entity that is interacting with the target entity, if any. And tool is the tool used to interact. There's a similar new loot table called block interact, which also has the interacting entity and the tool parameter. God damn it, it's supposed to be a loot table type. Loot table type according to the script. And a tool is the tool used to interact. There's a similar new loot table called specify a target types. The entity interact loot table type has been added and has 3 type has loot table type. Maybe I can doctor this. With the target entity, if any, and a tool, new loot table called table similar new loot table type called block interact, which all good enough. I am working tomorrow, yes. Is the tool used to interact. There's a similar new loot table type called block interact, which also has the... I can kind of drop the piece at the end of that somehow. Maybe? Similar new loot table type called block interact. Similar new loot table type called block... I got some weird sound instead. Loot table type called block... Loot table type called block... Similar new loot table type called block interact, which also has... I would go crazy cleaning up my own voiceover. See, you do this for years and years and years, and then you stop caring. It's super weird to listen to your own voice at the start, but like 10 years of YouTube. Yeah. And the tool parameters in addition to block state and block entity for the interactive block. there are now also a number of new loot tables. The Charged Creeper / Root loot table dispatches on the mob that was killed, which means the head drops from mobs killed by Charged Creeper explosions can now be modified in loot tables. Once any mob killed drops an item from this loot table, no other mobs killed by the same creeper will drop any loot from this loot table. The Brush / Armadillo loot table controls what is dropped when an armadillo... Oh, that does not look that great. Oh, maybe it's fine. No, I don't like that. It's this thing. Actually. What new? That's better. I could make it even wider to get rid of this one line break. I think I like that better. Leaves more space for whatever is going on the screen also. Vegas, hello? Vegas is not playing ball today. Okay, hi, good morning. And drops from shearing a pumpkin are now controlled by the Carve / Pumpkin loot table. Okay, that's all those boxes. Item components. I guess we drop that into a box. It's somewhere in here. Data components. You know what? We'll just... Next. Was actually blocked for any reason. And a game rule change. The spawn chunk radius game rule has been removed together. This I have footage of. We can just wrap that up. It's this thing. It's called gameplay spawn chunk game rules removed. Very nice. Gameplay. There. Oh, this is the above below thing. Just here. Zero damage was actually blocked. That's not the right one. But I did have this also. What was the other thing that was here? I guess we can do this. This thing. Which is this thing. Is gameplay shield disable? Zero damage was actually blocked. We'll do that. 32A. No, this is 31A. Because I'm late. So it's the tech video for 31A. And I would like to get it out of the way because we'd like to prepare for 32, eh? But I've been working. Well, I've been on vacation, but that's mean I've been like scrubbing and cleaning my wood deck outside and then oiling it and stuff for 3 days. So I am beat. But it also means I haven't been doing video stuff. Noise. Noise settings actually. On top the surface PNG and density function. Oh, that's a lot. That might be too much. We'll see. No, it's all good. You can keep them until it's convenient. They're very literally spares. Context for everybody confused, Lionier was one of the people who joined the hike a week ago-ish and borrowed some of my spare equipment. Let me see where it was in these two. Hold on. There was one more. There's noise. Generate that one. Noise functions. Here. That one is first. You still haven't gotten? Oh no. Oh, this sucks. Without a jaggedness field has been removed and replaced with a new 2D preliminary surface level field. This is a function expected to produce the Y level of the approximate surface level. To replicate the previous field, you can use the new find top surface density function. Speaking of new function expected to produce the Y level of the approximate surface level. To replicate the previous field, you can use the new find top surface density function. Speaking of new density functions, there's also another new one, invert, that produces the result of dividing 1 with the argument density function. There are also some custom world related bug fixes. Setting with smooth.
I'll have to be heading off now, but I'll be leaving my player online since I have myself being the ones recording some of the input recordings, so...
Okay.
On some of these, so hopefully my player stays online, but yeah, I'll try to leave it online while I'm away. So that way it's available for recording.
Yep. Thank you. There are also some custom world... it's a jigsaw thing. That was one of the Snapshot helpers. What is the name of the Outdoors channel? Have Lime Outdoors. It's linked in like every video. In the description. Oh yeah, and there. That we should update that link. It's got like an @Lime Outdoors name. that's fine. We'll just generate all of this now, I think. Just reading the descriptions on the TV, fair. Electron doing electron things will do that, yes. But also, things accumulate junk. I try not to add many extensions if I don't really need them. So max distance from center thing goes here. Center field can now optionally specify different limits for horizontal and vertical axes. This is done by making the field an object with horizontal and vertical fields instead of a single number. A bug has been fixed with zombie villager variants, and we have that recorded. This mob's zombie villager, that's easy enough. Actually, for that, I should get all of the rest of the images in before they vanish somewhere. Those, and then the shader things. Mobs, zombie villager. Here somewhere. Probably a side-by-side thing. Variants and professions not being properly restored when they got placed using jigsaws. And another bug with the... Seems good. Oh, that's awkward. Not have the box. Opponent no longer causes the item to be disabled if 0 damage was actually... I did not mean to animate it. I thought I switched that off, but then the program crashed, so forgot about it. No longer causes the item to be disabled if 0 damage was actually blocked for any reason. There we go. Okay, that's done. This... Incorrect for copper tool block tag has been added, together with the collection tags for copper blocks, copper chest blocks, and copper golem statue blocks. The copper tool materials and repairs copper armor item tags have been added, together with the collection item tag variants of the aforementioned block tags. In resource pack news, in addition to all the new textures and models, there are a number of changes to shaders. A number of core and post shaders have been removed and replaced with a new core/screen quad shader. Vertex shaders for post-processing effects as well as light map generation and full screen blitz are no longer past the position attribute. Yeah, that's all of the boxes thing. Yeah, Lime and Cut also exists. Fun fact, that is about to get demonetized because it's seeing so little traffic anymore. Now that, like, Steam archives are generally not going up in there anymore. Okay, what I need to do now is reload this. We can record this. Oops. So for this, you haven't been here all the stream. That is a scene I use to record, and it has none of the elements and none of the music and stuff. That's why it's a bit like silent there for a while. Nice. That was not what I meant to do. Work completed. We have a bunch of stuff to record on the loot tables. Nice. Thanks for the egg, I guess. Armadillo there. Yeah, I will not be up in 1 or 2 hours. That is not a thing. Just realized I've been in the other scene also. A little too long, but yes, that is the reason why we have a guideline to not hardcode names.
Yay.
And I am probably going to fully disable the ability to have hard-coded names, because this is just pointless. This is just wasting a lot of time. And this is the same. That has a good reason, I guess. It's one OBS instance. No game? Oh, that's a big problem, actually. Yeah, it doesn't have the audio line. That's interesting. We will have no audio from any of those recordings. Thank you. That's fixed. But name thing? So Epic's hard-coded his own name into that setup, which means he has to be online for the setup to work. Which is there's a guideline for the helpers that we don't do that. And this is the reason why. Ross Rao, I don't know when that happens, but thank you for the follow. I'm sorry if I missed that for a while. So this one I do need a second player for. Oh, it's not. I didn't. Nice little XP laying around. I'm just gonna borrow you again, Organizer. And then we need to now edit this to not do that anymore. And I think we should probably implement the that kind of pawn thing. Can actually do this even. That did not work. Does this have more hard-coded things? Spawn point, teleport, no. This is at 0. This is private mod, yes. So I'll show you here how this looks actually. So if you're editing this, and I would say this, it's going to show me a warning thing. Specifically, because you're not supposed to put your name in there. What? Is nobody in this dimension or what? Wait, am I looking at the wrong thing? Where's Creeper Cam? You're here now. This should be good. Well, now you're here. Now you're both here. I need one of you. Oh. They pick you and... I am very confused. It would charge creeper. It is removed. It's just removed later. That's the cam one again. This, I want to see camera. This. I don't see why this wouldn't work. Would you consider posting your private mod someday? If I stop producing the videos, maybe. So, I mean, here's the removal. I do not understand this. Epic loot table charge creeper. What is the right name? I do not understand what is going on. I mean, this is a spline, weirdly. Oh. Thanks. Yeah, so it's just like extremely overcomplicated just for like being in the shot, I guess, but yeah, that was a lot of wasted time. The point of these setups is supposed to be saving time, so. Alright, one more. Oh crap. That one, of course, I got now recorded with the wrong scene in OBS. So we're gonna have to do it again. Somebody respawn? Oops. That really should be you in that shot, in my opinion. Which shot? In this shot? I was still in the frame. I don't care. All that good. Both use Flynn's. Yeah, that's awful. The thing is, I would have to record from my alt account then, because otherwise it pops the death screen because I'm dead. Which is not worth the time. Ah. Yeah, it's late. So that is all of the loot table stuff except the like fields to specify target entity blah blah thing. I don't know what to do for. But whatever. Desktop. Loot tables. There's all of that stuff. Entity interact. Got like 4 million recordings of these now, I think. Loot tables, entity interact. Oh god. Okay, yes, I get that type of recording. That's not great. This is because I'm recording with my stream setup, which means, well, come on. What is this? Oh, that's that. Oh boy. Yeah, that's not gonna do it. Okay, we have nothing for entity interact. /turtle grow loot table controls what is dropped when an armadillo is brushed. That probably needs to be stretched anyway. Usually my recordings only have one track. But because I'm recording on my streaming setup, we now have like a bazillion. What drops when a turtle grows up? Harvest/beehive is for when a beehive is harvested. What drops when a turtle grows up? Harvest/beehive is for when a beehive is harvested, and harvest/cave vine is for when a glowberry is harvested. And drops from shearing a pumpkin are now controlled by the carve/pumpkin loot table. That works. 4 million recordings of charged creepers. Sounds a bit like growls up. I don't care. It's close enough. Mobs killed by charged creeper explosions can now be modified in loot tables. Once any mob killed drops an item from this loot table, no other mobs killed by the same creeper will drop any loot from this loot table. The order being different is weird. It's because he made the setup before the script was done, because it was still working through the script when he was working on these. So he had no way of knowing, and I didn't know which way he put them. So we kind of did things in 2 separate tracks, and then, yeah, we just ended up with 2 different orders. It's unfortunate, but I don't think it's like a deal breaker. Yeah, so these are slightly too short. How long are these? They're really short. They're 5-second splines. Okay, no, I'm actually gonna re-record those. Let's stretch them. What the heck happened there? Alright, that is Turtle Grow. That's where I am, actually. Yes. So, stretch that by a factor of 2. And then the other one was, I think, called... No? Loot table... Entity interact. Okay, there we go. This one. Okay. Did not have removed those from the edit, actually, because I should be able to do this. Oh god, what's happened here? And an armadillo is brushed. Oh, I see what's happening. Accidentally removed it with the other one. The brush/armadillo loot table controls what is dropped when an armadillo is brushed. The gameplay/turtle grow loot table controls what drops when a turtle grows up. Harvest/beehive and drops from shearing a pumpkin are now controlled by the carve/pumpkin loot table. Can I turn those around without it sounding incredibly weird? What drops when a turtle grows up, and drops from shearing a pumpkin are now controlled by the carve/pumpkin loot table. Harvest turtle grows up, and drops from shearing a pumpkin are now controlled by the carve/pumpkin loot table. Harvest/beehive is for when a beehive is harvested, and harvest/cave vine is for when a glowberry is harvested. Man, that kind of works. And I'm switching them in the script also, because I'm then using the scripts for auto-timed subtitles. Okay, so we actually do not just have anything for the Entity Interact stuff. Because what he's set up is for these things, and they're way too short. Seconds on that. Yeah. Okay. Reload this. Most of this should be green now. Yeah. Why is this not green? Alright, whatever. Have a good night, Lanier. And by the way, there's like all of the overcomplicated setups. That's definitely like that's the thing we should not be doing. But all of this like, oh, these setups don't match what's in the script and whatnot. That's just stuff that happens. Like that's not. I'm not blaming him for that in any way. That's just like it's really hard to know what to make video clips for before we have set the VO and know how long the sections are. There's intro. So I'm gonna record what there is, I think, and then that's probably it for today. Because it's 1 a.m. here now and I need to go sleep. The first of this was the intro B-roll, which we concluded was just the right length. Usually it's probably fine. I miscalculated how much of the intro I needed. Let's be like here. Get rid of those. Fade that for half a second. Snapshot 25W31A includes minor pack versions and data pack version 82.0 and resource pack version 65.0 with new loot tables and more. My name is slicedlime and this is a showcase of all the changes. Very nice. And the other one was tags, which I think is now way too long. But we might be able to just video compress that. That might be a bit much. This might be incredibly fast. Has been added together with the collection tags for copper blocks, copper chest blocks, and copper golem statue blocks. The copper tool materials and repairs copper armor item tags have been added together with the collection item tag variants of the aforementioned block tags. I think we like squeeze it a little and cut it a little. Yeah, we might put it somewhere else as well. I sort of need more of the end. Of the aforementioned block tags. Block tag has been added together with... That will work. Okay, that's something. That means these should be marked done. Honestly, we're in quite a reasonable state. Like, we need a bunch of B-roll. I mean, this is done. I mean, really, what this should be is like this. There's a bunch of B-roll. There are a couple of custom world things, which I guess is just, this is, honestly, this is all a not shown. And then there's a, like all of that. Custom world related bug fixes. Setting with smooth. Yeah, it's probably like 35 seconds. So it's not bad. We're in a decent state, but yeah. Not finishing this day. It's late. Meant to go here. Alright. I've had no eyes on like any of the streaming windows and stuff. I have no idea how many people have been watching or what's been going on. So thanks for hanging out, whoever hung out.
Superlan stream today. I went to bed when the stream started, and now I have just woke up.
Oh god. I mean, it's 4 hours. It's not terribly long. It started late. But yeah, thanks for hanging out, folks. And thank you, Saran, for 7 months. Appreciate that. 4 hours does some painful sleep. I work well on like 6 hours, which is why I need to go to bed now. But less than that starts getting iffy. Thank you so much. We'll head off for some raid somewhere. What's with the super sad music? Yeah, let's go to Kimmy. It's on one shot. Maybe? He actually live? I think she's just on break. I think that's fine. Let's go there. Thank you so much, folks. We'll see you later, hopefully on Thursday, which should be another stream. And have a great rest of your day, morning, night, evening, whatever time it is in your time zone. I'll see you later. Bye-bye.